How's it going, my miserly bizarre people? We're back with another video on Bleach Rebirth for Souls, but today we're going to be talking about how many Arrancars are we actually going to be getting in Bleach Rebirth for Souls. But before we hop into the conversation, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe and tell me how many Arrancars you think we're actually going to be getting. I've been making a lot of content on this game because I am so excited for it. And if you are as excited as I am, go ahead and subscribe because we're going to be continuing to make content on this game as time continues to progress. Now let's hop into the conversation. I want to go out just like go right out and say it's confirmed that we're getting all Espada in all the Espadas in the game. Now that's only 10. There's only 10 Espadas in all, so that will only be 10 Arrancars, right? Which isn't a bad number, but we do have to remember that baby girl, is it Nelio? Nelia? I think it's Nelia is how you say her name. I'm really bad with names. I'm sorry. But baby girl is in the game, so that makes 11. That makes 11, right? Which isn't a bad number. It's definitely not a bad number, right? But there's this is leaving out one. Like, if we're only getting like the alternate spadas and then just Nelia, that's only 11, and that's a good number. But we're leaving out one Arrancar that is that they're not in the Espada, right? They're not as popular as Nelia, right? Maybe not as crucial to the story, maybe debatably, I don't know, as Nelia, but it's a character that I really want in the game for really just one, really just one purpose, right? But we're gonna talk about that later. We're gonna talk about that later. I want to talk about right now. I want to talk about two of the characters in the Espada that I don't necessarily have a problem with, but I'm iffy about when it comes to their abilities. You could just say that, and that is um Yami. I think Yami is how you say his name, and Stark. Now I want to talk about Yami just right off the bat because his is pretty obvious if you know, if you already know. Now he has two like huge giant forms in the game that I really don't know how they're gonna implement into the game. They could, but I don't know how they're going to. That's really the thing about him. The only way I could really see them doing it is if it's like our boys over here, Bankai. You see how like big and giant his Bankai is? That's really the only way I could see them putting these giant forms, or at least one of them in the game, as if like it's as big as this, right? But if that's gonna be the case, is this like a full fledged? Well, not that if it not that it is it a full fledged awakening, but is it just gonna, like, after you transform, is that gonna be it? You're just in this giant form for the rest of the game, or is it gonna be a time limit? Because I don't want to say fighting against this would be difficult, but it might be. It definitely might be. So there's that. That's the only really. It's not necessarily a problem, but that's the only concern I have when we're talking about Yami. Now I have this pulled up already. Now when we're talking about Stark here, um, it's not a problem, but it is something that has to do with his ability. Of course, we know Stark's awakening is most definitely gonna be this, and in order to do this, he needs her right here. If I remember correctly, he needs her in order to activate this form. And oh, after consideration, her being her own fully fledged character, isn't really fucking 4 feet tall. Jesus Christ. But her being her own character isn't the most likely. It's not very likely to happen, right? But what is very likely to happen, in my opinion, you tell me if I'm fortunate, I believe what is very likely to happen is that she is gonna end up like this, like this right here. She's gonna be uh, an assist or just part of Stark's one of just a part of one of Stark's abilities. Maybe she jumps in instead of like doing a slash right here. She does like maybe just a basic. Can I does this shield any of? Yeah, yeah. She does one of these, right? That could definitely be possible, right? I could see the vision. Are you seeing the vision with me? I could see the vision, right? Right? I'm not. This isn't insane, right? 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 I could see it. She jumps in, hops in, and she does like the little I would you call this an eye blast? I can't really tell. But she does a blast, and then she goes away, right? And as for Stark's awakening, um, she just becomes his gun, or uh, you guys know what I mean. She just I don't know if it will have like a special animation though. That's something I am not familiar with. I think it would. I think it would. I think it would. Maybe. Probably would. Yeah. They probably have like a special animation for doing. I don't want to say the fusion, right? But for doing the awakening, I think it would definitely they would definitely have like a special animation to where it shows her going away, something like that, or becoming the gun, or something something like that. Basically showing that she's not gonna be able to do this anymore, right? Basically just showing that. Now, that's pretty much it for those two. That was it. That was it. Now we need to. Oh man, I spoiled you guys. I spoiled you guys. But now we're talking about the character who I just really want to be in the game, and it's her, but more appropriately, it's these three right here. And it's these three only because of this thing right here. Only because of this thing. I am a big fan of like insanely strong, like Broly type characters, right? And that is exactly what this thing is. I I think we should go over what this thing does like right now, because it's really crazy. It's really crazy. Of course, we know that in order for it to come into existence, they have to, all three of them have to rip off their arm, then it fuses and then conjoins or whatever, and bam, it comes out. Right? That's why. I mean, we can see it's an amalgamation of all of them, right? So that's why they all need to be in the game for this thing to be in the game, right? uh, I'm gonna just stop there. I'm gonna stop there. Now, for how I can see this for all three of them being in the game, it's kind of similar to this, right? She's the main body. You could say she comes in for spiritual move one, or spiritual pressure move one, spiritual pressure move two, and she has like her own thing for her signature move, right? Her awakening could, man, it could be a couple things. It could be really only two things. It could be this form, but what I think or is most like possibly what makes the most sense if we want this thing in the game is that she goes into this thing instantly, and then she rips her arm off, right? And then becomes, they all rip their arm off and then become this. This. Or maybe, oh, wait, I just had a brain blast of an idea. Hear me out. Maybe, maybe, okay, here, see, perceive the vision, feel the vision, hear the vision. So, I'm gonna wait for it to come up. So, say it's three of them. It's all three of them, right? Let me pull it back up. It's all three of them. It's all three of them. And this is the awakening. This is the awakening. It's all three of them, right? They're all They all go into their awakened state, right? Then they all rip their arm off, right? Then the arm fuses into they join and fuse and become this thing. Of course. But they don't just go away. They sit They sit in the back line because they're not fighting anymore. They sit in the back line while the I actually don't know what this thing is called, but while this, is doing work, right? And that's the awakening. That's how you put the character. That's how you put the thing in the game. Is that crazy? Yeah, that's a little crazy. But it's not impossible. Is it improbable? Most definitely. But let me dream, all right? Let me dream. Let me dream, okay? Let me dream. So that's how this character could be in the game. That's how they could do it. That's how they could do it. Now let's take a look at what this thing does. I'm sure you already know, but instantly devastation. I don't want to show that for too long, but absolute devastation. And are we? It's really crazy that okay. Well, we're getting sidetracked. It's really crazy because the only like thing, the only individual that stopped this thing definitely wasn't him. That wasn't him. He got what was he even doing? Well, he snapped his neck. It's like contorted, twisted his body, but he was about to get packed up. He doesn't do anything. Actually, he gets dunked on. He gets looked at and gets blasted away. He gets smashed. But the only person who was able to stop this thing was Yamato. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Now I'm not saying Yamato had like to fully exert himself. Like it didn't look like he really had to try, right? But regardless, even the fact that Yamato had to step in and defeat this thing is pretty significant in my opinion, right? So that's it. That's it for that. Now, there's one thing I do want to talk about, but before we really end the video here, and it's this. Now, we've seen this isn't the only hollow model we have in the game, and I think a lot of these characters are gonna have models in the game, but they're not actually gonna be playable characters. Case in point, this girl right here. This girl, I think she's definitely gonna have a model in the game. I mean, she kind of has to, right? Well, I don't. They might not really show this how, like, they might not show this, but she kind of has to like she has to be in the game in some degree, right? So I think she's gonna have a character model, but I don't think she's gonna be a playable character at all. Can we pull up? Um, can we pull her up? Can we do that? I I don't know her name. I do not know her name. So is it her? Yeah, this is her. This is her. Crazy, crazy. So this man. Aizen. I like the guy, but man, he couldn't have just let his aspirations go of being what of just taking over the Soul Society. He couldn't just. Well, no, it wasn't taking over. It was destroying, wasn't it? Wasn't his aspiration to destroy the Soul Society? He could have just let it go, and just live happily with her. Cause I mean, she was definitely feeling him. I don't know. If I was in Aizen's shoes, I would have just let it go and lived happily ever after with her. But I guess that's what makes Aizen truly evil, truly irredeemable bastard. But that'll be it for today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. That'll be it for today. Until next time.